Na 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 Batman. Trilogies. The Godfather films. The 3 Toy Story films. The Holy Movie trilogy, On the Buses, Mutiny on the Buses, and Holiday on the Buses. And then we come to the Batman trilogy, the Ocean Batman trilogy, the 1986 game by John Rittman and Bernie Drummond, that's a predecessor of Head Over Heels, the 1989 Batman the movie game, and then this, the middle game, the Mutiny on the Batman, if you will, of the trilogy, Batman the Caped Crusader. I got this game for my birthday, spring 1989, and therefore we will start off in the Amstrad CPC, but the game was released for Christmas 1988, coded by Special FX for Ocean. You get 2 games on your disc, A Bird in the Hand game with the penguin, and A Fate Worse Than Death with the Joker. So we're going to start off with A Bird in the Hand, and you start off in the Batcave. And it's an action-adventure game, so you have to pick things up and use the objects, like Dizzy. So what's that? It's a red nose. What can that be for? Broken Machine, says the thing at the top of the screen, because the game plays in a comic book style. So what do? Do we use that tool? We press that button there, click the fist, and we get 1% of the game completed. And there we go. We've managed to do that there. The Batarang. Over to the Spectrum. Lovely loading screens on all of these 8-bit versions. So I moved this on a little bit. So now we're still in the Batcave. Insert the disc in the computer. Now, I've got no music on this version. There possibly is music on the 128K Specky, but I don't have any. So we are now outside the Batcave. Oh, now, there is a problem. So I haven't activated my Batarang, so now I've got that. So we've got that ladder, there. There's an object there. What's that? Got the rope. And this is what it looks like on the Specky 48K. It's just as ever, slightly muted down and blurrier. Over the 64, I really like both the CPC and C64 loading screens. The 64 just about edges it for me. So here we are on the rooftop again on the 64. An absolutely cracking SID tune here. There's a hint at the top left hand side there, take your pick. So we're going to find the pick we picked up earlier, and you have to judge it from the icon of what each item is, and they're rather indistinct, so that must be the pick. And we're inside some offices or a warehouse or something. Now you'll see lots of little things go by that can damage you, including people. I'm on infinite energy here. It has to be said, and some people have noted this over the years, there's not actually an awful lot of point tackling all the baddies. You'll just lose more energy. It's better to just avoid them. And in fact, combat is a little bit tricky. The Batarang works, but the things that are low down, like the penguins, are hard to hit. Onto the ST. So again, we start off in the Batcave. And so far, it looks very similar to the 8-bit versions. Same idea, you have an inventory there, except the ST and, as we come to see, the Amiga versions don't actually tell you what you've picked up. Speaking of the Amiga, here we are. And they have a simplified on the 16-bit energy system and a much larger energy drain. Look, there I am, I'm a skull. It's a skull! There's a banana. That should boost my energy up. You get no warning, by the way, when your energy is about to completely deplete and you die. Other than on the status screen there. Which is, yeah. On the Amstrad and Spectrum versions, a noise starts when you are very low on energy. If you hit an enemy 7 times, I think it's 7 times, he will drop a packet of crisps and it will replenish some of your energy. Trouble is, you usually only gain as much energy as you expanded beating up the bad guys. You can also punch enemies when they're up close. And there's a PC version. Problem is, I couldn't get it to work. I just got a divide overflow error and an EMM386 error. And frankly, having spent 3 hours playing this game already, I wasn't prepared to start messing around with boot discs. I'm told it's pretty much the same as the 16-bit versions. Look, I'll try and put some emulated footage on the screen from, what's that thing, DOSBox, so you can see what it looks like. Plays the same as the ST and Amiga. Back to the Amstrad. We're inside the warehouse. And that's Catwoman there, presumably wandering around. Now, I thought she had her arms folded when she's walking around, but no, it's not her arms folded at all. It's just some graphics artist has got a bit, carried away, shall we say. Back to the Spectrum. We've now got the pass to get into the Joker's mansion. We're at 49% completion, 58% now. It jumps right up. I'm going to need a torch. Basically, you break into the Penguin's warehouse, find all the bits you need, get the pass, and then go into his mansion. So here we are in the warehouse on the ST. Just trying to get some energy. On the ST and Amiga, it's really a grind to keep your energy up, and I've died. Lovely artwork. Shame about the game on the 16-bits. Back onto the Amiga. Right, so there's a dartboard in this office, and I've picked up a dart that took forever to find. Let's throw the dart. And look, there's the pass to get into the Penguin's mansion. Onto the 64, where Batman looks quite small. Shouldn't Batman tower over the other characters? He looks like slightly hunched over. Remember to check out ChinnyVision 2, details in the description below. And also the ChinnyVision podcast when I get round to updating it. I just have my voices going a little bit. I don't know why. Quite humid this evening. Right, back onto the Amiga, into the Penguin's mansion. So some of the puzzles are different on the 16 bits. Especially if you go immediately to the right when you come out to the Batcave, because there's a police officer who will shoot at you unless you have the police pass. And you have to be quick getting it out as well, or you just basically be shot very quickly. I saw one review that claimed this game pioneered the use of a comic strip look with the screens like this and all the overlays. And I'm thinking, Dan Dare? What was that, 86? So it'd been done before, including the captions top left-hand corner, as we see there on the Specky. So now walking around the Penguin's mansion. The game, unfortunately, does have quite a maze-like thing about it. We get lost. So this should be the final screen. So we've got all the objects. So what do? Let's try activating some stuff. So magnet. That got me up to 88%. I think it's supposed to erase the disc. Does that do anything? 89%? Not sure. Trumpet. Well, that got me up to 90%. What have I got to do now? Floppy disk? Put the floppy disk into the computer? Perhaps? 100% game completed. The computer has been stopped. And that job's a good one. And it loops round, so you're back in the Batcave. So let's try Fate Worse Than Death, because this is 2 games in one. You've got the Penguin game, and now the Joker game. The Joker game, from memory, is supposed to be harder. So you start off again in the Batcave on the 64. Same thing, wander around, find lots of objects, and then proceed. So got to go find something to light up that room. On 64, all the objects, when they appear on the screen, are just Batman icons. Memory saving? Not sure. On the other 8 bits, they just appear as, as they are. See, 2 Batman icons there. Incidentally, of course, we think of the Batman 89 movie, but this is 1988, so for most kids in the UK, or certainly everyone who didn't read the DC comics, then Batman was Adam West, because that was being shown most mornings on TVAM, Good Morning Britain. So we were all watching Adam West. Quite a lot of people were disappointed Adam West wasn't in the 1989 movie. Batman, help me, head for the coast. I think Robin's in some kind of dungeon. Or club. Specky. And again, worth pointing out, there probably is music on the Spectrum, but this version I've got isn't giving me any. ST version. Starts off differently on the ST and Amiga. You start off in Gotham City Park, although with a similar problem because you're going to have to find a light bulb in a minute to proceed. So that's a stick. What is it? Crowbar. At least on the 16 bits, although it doesn't tell you what things are, you've got a better idea of seeing what they are compared to the 64. Amiga version, so now down the drains. Sorry about the graphical corruption, just happened on my version. Zap gave this game 92% and said it was an amazing arcade adventure. Ace gave the ST version 910 and the Specky 903 on their bizarre out of 1,000 rating scheme. ChinnyVision gave the C64 74%. I'm back on the CPC now. Spectrum 89%. ChinnyVision clearly liked the Specky version way more than C64. Crash 93%, your Sinclair 9 out of 10, and 92% on the 1991 re-release. So now we've got to defuse the bombs. We've got the wire cutters, there's about 10 or so bombs you have to defuse before you can rescue Robin. So we're going to wander around in the sewers here. From the towering Batman on the Amstrad to the Don Estelle Batman on the C64. Look at this lovely colour on the 64. Why can't all 64 games be lovely and colourful like this? We've picked up a dagger. Ah, there Robin is all tied up. Right, mate. Right, let's get you down. Use the dagger to cut you down. Doesn't work. Use the hammer. No. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what I need to do here. On the Specky. Roll up. Now that's... the clogs will slow you down. There's trainers on the Penguin game that speed you up. Again, nice and colourful, suited to the Specky, these graphics. But again, a lot of wandering around maze-like areas. Back to the Amiga, where I'm still wandering around the sewers in this horrible maze section with the corrupted graphics now, but that's because this is the only trained version on the Amiga I could find. There's no cheats built into the game that I could see, so the problem is I've had to use a download and put it on my A600. We started off in the 1200 when I was playing it properly, and now we've gone over to the 600 where I am cheating. On the ST, no corrupted graphics. but I also no cheat, and I've died. I'm sorry, Jason. It's time to stop this madman permanently. Sorry, I can't get any further on any of these versions of A Fate Worse Than Death. Some people say it's easier than the Penguin game. I disagree because, simply put, there is far less food around to pick up to replenish your energy. Batman the Caped Crusader, the middle Batman game, and often the forgotten one, completely overshadowed by the Batman the movie game the following year. And ironically, I prefer this to Batman the movie, and always have. Okay, let's disregard the 16-bit versions. They're too hard. Combat is terrible, and the energy drain is absolutely awful. It's just so hard. Your entire time is spent consumed by trying to make sure you've got enough energy, because you'll die without warning, because there's no status display on your main gameplay screen. It's only on the inventory screen you can see your energy, and it depletes so quickly. However, we come to the 8-bits, and it's wonderful on all of them. The 64 version is a feast of graphics and sound, and it's just so lovely. It's so lovely in that the only problem I have with the 64 version is every time you pick up an object or go to the inventory screen, the music resets, which is a shame because it only gets good like about 90 seconds in with a really thumping bass line, but every time you go back to the beginning when you pick something up or just do anything, which is a real shame. Specky version looks great, graphically appealing, absolutely wonderful. The Amstrad version looks more muted. It's a really nice use of the Amstrad's full colour mode, high resolution, and over the 64 version and even the Specky version, Batman actually looks like Batman. He's got some screen presence. He doesn't look that slightly sorry figure he seems on the C64. But these are all minor quibbles. Spectrum C64 Amstrad, wonderful action-adventure game, a little bit harsh on the draining of energy, but nowhere near as harsh as those 16-bit versions.